Hello, fellow citizens. Today we're taking a closer look at religion and how it's affecting today's modern political atmosphere. There's a claim amongst many religious leaders, biblical leaders, and Republican candidates that Christianity is under attack. Recently is the Kim Davis fiasco and Marco Rubio's interaction with a gay man where he told him to change the law at the state legislature. Before we actually get into this question though, I think we really need to take a look at where this anger is coming from and the sentiments that are behind it. At its core, this issue comes from a debate between two constitutional amendments, the First Amendment and the 14th. The First Amendment guarantees the right to free speech, religion, free press, assembly, and the ability to petition the government. For our purposes, we're just going to focus specifically on the language regarding religion. The First Amendment states that Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof. This means that you can practice whatever religion you wish, and you won't be prosecuted for doing so. You could worship Star Wars, as I'm sure many people do. Taylor Swift, as people I know do. Pancakes. Taylor Swift-shaped pancakes. And nobody from the government will come to your door and arrest you. Now, let's move to the 14th Amendment. The 14th Amendment states that no state shall deny to any person within its jurisdiction the equal protection of law. Before we go any further, it's important to note that this amendment is by far the most talked about and debated amendment of the Constitution. If all the amendments were children, the 14th would be the one the parents always talk and worry about. The anti-Kevin McAllister, if you will. So it's nothing new that people are questioning the Supreme Court's interpretation with regards to same-sex marriages. So, what was their interpretation? I could read the exact fine print to you, but that's a little too more detailed and I don't want you to fall asleep watching this video. So I just placed links at the bottom that you can look at if you want. To do a quick summary, there are two cases that encompass the Supreme Court's decision, California's Proposition 8, and the more notable one, Obergefell v. Hodges. The Supreme Court was presented with this basic legal question. Does prohibiting same-sex marriage constitute a violation of the 14th Amendment, or would granting it to same-sex couples violate the First Amendment as religions forbid it and asking them to accept it would violate their beliefs? So what they decided was this. Marriage, as it is part of the legal system with rights such as death benefits, hospital visitation, tax filings, is not a religious union. Therefore, granting some unions these benefits and others not purely because of their sexual orientations constitute a violation of that equal protection clause. To give an example, say that driving was a religious institution, one that had been professed by Noah and Moses, and there was a quote in the Bible from Jesus saying, "He who doth drive the Honda Pontiac must be of God's children and be circumcised." So say that for thousands of years, Christians drove. There were ceremonies for the first drive, the first car, with priests blessing you before you went out on a road trip. Now fast forward to the modern period where driving has tax forms and other things and is fairly known and publicized institution, and imagine that only Christians can drive. They have a history of it, but it's also in the framework of our society. The court essentially said that because it's such a part of our society, denying it is a violation of that equal protection clause. Religious groups, understandably, were very angry about this decision, as they now had to recognize marriages that they saw as a violation of their religion, and those legal marriages would now have the same rights as them. Furthermore, laws that many religious people voted on were invalidated, which makes it seem like their support and therefore their practice of religion was being accosted. So let's return to this original claim, that Christianity is under attack. My feeling on this is that this argument needs to be amended to say that Christianity is not under attack, but is losing influence. Without a doubt, religion, and in particular Christianity, has been a big part of America. There are many celebrities, including Stephen Curry, who believe in religion. The Pledge of Allegiance has the word God in it, and a vast majority of our government identifies with the Christian faith. However, this does not mean that America has always followed the rules of Christianity. On the contrary, many current aspects of U.S. law directly violate Christian customs. Most notably, it's the 13th Amendment, and that outlaws slavery. In the Bible, slavery is acceptable in certain circumstances, but it's prohibited by U.S. law. Furthermore, many Christians don't agree with slavery or other aspects of the Bible and wouldn't likely follow them even if they could. So I ask, what makes the Bible's language on homosexuality more important than its language on slavery? The second major problem with the original claim is that it equates toleration with attack. And that's a problem because toleration is necessary for a democracy to work. Toleration is not really an attack. For example, a man can walk down the street with a Dodger sweater, and I can be offended and disgusted. But offending someone is not against the law. If you prosecute the person wearing the sweater, or a person just saying racial slurs, it might feel good, but it also infringes on that person's rights, which means that they're not being treated equally. So Christians are allowed to be offended and disgusted when they see a gay wedding, or they see a gay couple coming out of the courthouse with a license, or making out in the park. But their rights aren't being offended having to tolerate it, because they can still go and pray without anybody being able to stop them. Now, does this mean that Christians have no reason to be angry, or that their feelings are not grounded in a real sense of loss? Of course not. Christianity's influence in America is declining from what it once was. Secularism is on the rise, and Christians are being asked to tolerate far more than what they have in the past. But this is the balance that you have in a democracy. People living side by side, living their lives by their own choices, and the law making sure that none of those people's beliefs or actions are infringing on the rights of other people, so that everyone has the same rights as everyone else. I hope this helps explain the issue a bit more, and please feel free to post comments or counter arguments. Just please be respectful to other people, and remember that the first person who makes a personal attack in the debate is the one who has lost the debate. Take care, and remember to vote.